Hey friends, Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. It's been some time since I've put together a gear loadout video for you guys, and so that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna share with you all of the gear that I've got in this 50-liter backpack for this late fall, early winter backpacking trip that I'm going on into the desert that is a 3-day, 2-night trip. The first thing that we're gonna talk about is the backpack itself, and I'm super excited to share with you guys this brand new, updated, light 50-liter pack from Waymark Gear Company. This is made from that brand new EcoPack 100% recycled polyester fabric that is out and available that a lot of pack makers are starting to use, and Waymark, we're using it now as well, and it's super exciting to have a sustainable fabric used on our backpack. But this is a framed pack that is now available from Waymark. You've got 2 aluminum stays that create the frame in here, plus a foam back panel that's a sewn in piece of foam against the back. And then you've got a lumbar pad. All of that creates just a really nice carry system that's gonna let this carry up to 35 pounds of gear. Now what I've gotten here is about 28 pounds right now before I add additional food and such to this. Let's pull everything out of the pack here, lay it out on the table, and show you exactly what I'm taking on this trip into the desert next weekend. So we'll start with the big 3 gear items, and we already talked about the backpack, but again, the Waymark Gear framed light 50-liter backpack. The shelter system that I'll take on this trip is one of my favorite tents I've ever had, the Tarp Tent Double Rainbow Lithium. So a Dyneema single wall shelter. I love this shelter so much. So I'll have my Easton Nano stakes and a couple groundhogs in here, as well as some extras. It's always nice in the desert with the sand to have something extra to make it easier to pitch your tent. And then I added this little storage caddy system that's made for the Rainbow recently, and excited to finally put that to use. And then the carbon poles that come with the Double Rainbow that are in a little sleeve that I built that protects these when out on the trail, because I keep them on the outside of the pack to make it easier to pack everything in there, and the stuff sack for the tent. Now the sleep system that I'll have with me on this trip is the Etherlite XT sleeping pad from Sea to Summit. I love this thing. It'll be great for those temperatures that we will have down into freezing, maybe high 20s, but this will work just fine with the sleeping bag, not a quilt, but the sleeping bag that I'll take this time, which is the Sea to Summit Spark. This is the 5 degree or 0 degree. I love this sleeping bag, super comfortable. And the more I use it, the more I enjoy it. It's a fantastic product. So the Sea to Summit Spark, and that rounds out the big 3 gear items. Next on the list is all of the clothing that I'll take with me on this trip, and we'll start with the jackets that I'll carry. And the first is gonna be the Outdoor Vitals Ventus hoodie. Man, I love this hoodie so much. It's gonna be perfect for when it gets chilly in the mornings, in the evenings, and I need something just light and can be a good active layer. So the Outdoor Vitals Ventus hoodie. And then second to that, my heavier weight insulated piece is my Outdoor Research Helium down hoodie. This thing is fantastic. I love this jacket so much. It's super warm, and it just works exactly for these types of 3-season conditions. Great product for having out in the backcountry. Then let's talk about these clothing items, which are mostly focused around sleeping and just staying warm in the evenings and the mornings. So we've got a BlackRock gear. Oh, it makes me so sad that BlackRock is no longer around, but a little thin beanie, which is perfect for being under the hood of the insulated jackets that I have. Then an extra pair of socks for sleeping. I've got these Outdoor Designs. These are not available anymore, which I wish they were, because I never want them to wear out, but a leather palmed glove from Outdoor Designs, which is super nice. I've got an extra pair of underwear from Sax. These are the kinetic underwear. Love these things as well. Super breathable, make chafing basically go away, which is super nice. Then I've got a long sleeve Capilene Patagonia sleeping shirt. This is super nice to have as well for these kinds of conditions where I've got a long sleeve and I can layer up inside of my sleeping bag as necessary. Then a pair of Smart Wool 250 thermal bottoms that just are perfect for sleeping in these kinds of 3-season conditions. And last, a probably not necessarily needed item for this trip, but a very lightweight rain shell, wind shell in case we do happen to find rain while we're out there. So now we'll talk about all of the cooking gear that I'll have with me. The first is my Toaks titanium 550 milliliter pot. This thing is fantastic, super lightweight, exactly what I need for the freeze-dried meals that I take with me on my trips. I've got this GSI cup that I use for drinking hot chocolate out of in the morning, as well as it's got the graduation lines, so I know exactly how much water to put into my meals. Then I eat with a Toaks titanium polished end long handle spoon. Then I'm going to cook with the Soto Amicus canister stove. This stove is fantastic. I absolutely love the value that you get out of the Amicus. I've got a lighter as a backup, even though you've got a piezo igniter here for the Amicus, and then just a 100-gram canister of fuel. This is a microfiber towel from Wildhorn Outfitters that I take on all of my trips. I use it to wipe things down for my cooking, as well as if I get condensation inside of my tent, I use this to clean that off. And then for my Toaks 550 milliliter, I've got a light AF pot sack that just contains all of that stuff together into one little tiny kit. Next up is electronic items, miscellaneous things, first aid, hygiene, and water. Right here we've got my Aeros Down Premium Pillow from Sea to Summit that goes with my sleep system. Then I've got a little lantern that is perfect for these kinds of trips where it's late in the fall, daylight savings is here, and so you have nights coming a lot quicker, and so you're spending more time in the dark in your tent, so it's nice to have a lantern. I got my Petzl Bindi headlamp. I love this thing. And then an Anker wireless charging battery bank that is a 10,000 milliamp battery bank. And then I've got my charging cables for my phone, and then a USB micro for my headlamp and my lantern here, and a little Dyneema bag that all of those items go into, as well as my Benchmade mini bug out knife that I carry as well. I've got my first aid kit here that has a repair kit as well as blister stuff in there to take care of all of that stuff. I've got a small tube of chapstick, and then brand new for this trip is a brand new Sawyer Squeeze water filter. Yes, I'm going back to the Sawyer Squeeze after having used the micro for the entire year of 2021 to this point. I'm ready to just move on from the micro and go to the Sawyer Squeeze. And so that's why you see that on the table. I've got a coupler and an extra O-ring in this little bag next to my Aquamira drops as my backup water, and then a 2-liter Canuck water bag, Vecto water bag, for carrying extra water and having that in camp, because we will have at least one dry camp on this trip. Something that's brand new that I'm going to try is a backcountry bidet, and so we'll see how that goes. But then I've got a wag bag that is required for this particular area that we're going to, wet ones, and my trowel for digging a hole as necessary in the area that a wag bag is not required. Now the last few gear items here are my Helinox Chair Zero in my Hilltop Packs Dyneema stuff sack with my printed logo on it, the 1-liter bottles for my water, and then my food bag. This is not all of my food, but gives you an idea of what I'll have with me. I love this food bag. It's just great to have that center open zipper and to have my food, which will be peak refuel meals. So this is a Dyneema zippered bag that I made myself. And then my filming equipment is my microphone. I've got a little stand for my phone, and then my lightweight carbon fiber mini tripod. All right, friends, that is my gear list for this upcoming desert backpacking trip that I'm headed out on. Cannot wait to take this stuff out, put it to use, and share it with you guys. You will see the trip very soon after this video, and it's gonna be awesome. So thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. Hope you have an awesome day, and as always, we will catch you on the next one. See you later.